Hi everybody, welcome to my bedroom where the tragic happens. This is going to be a film review of Her. I want to say straight away, I probably went into this film with not quite the right mindset. I went to see it a couple of hours after I saw the Lego movie, which I saw immediately after a full day of work, and I saw a midnight screening, but it didn't actually start until about 20 to 1. I was very tired. I was fairly sort of energised from the Lego movie as well. And also the mindset I had from what I'd heard about it from people I really respect, whose opinions I really respect, who all said it was their favourite film of 2013. I wouldn't call it my favourite film of 2013. Honestly, I think that goes to Frozen. That's not to say I didn't like this movie. I want to make that clear straight away. Theo is a relatively lonely guy. He finds out about a new system where he can download an AI friend, and it turns out to be a girl called Samantha. Over the course of the film, they form a romantic relationship, which I thought was going to be really cheesy, but I like that the way it starts out is purely sexual. They just have a conversation when he says, "I wish I could be with you, I wish I could touch you," and she goes, "How would you touch me?" That's how the whole thing starts out. I wouldn't have liked it if it had been the typical romance. That would have really pissed me off for 2 hours. Yeah, I'm glad that's not what happened. Some of the ideas they explore, for example, gosh, there are so many. Whether they can have intelligence of their own, whether it is just their programming, the relationship between humans and artificial intelligence, the humanity of artificial intelligence. Whenever they're talking about an idea, it never felt like the idea was thought upon for too long. But on the other hand, it felt like sometimes it was slightly underdeveloped. There were many times where I felt extremely uncomfortable, and I'm sure it's what they were going for. One moment that stands out in particular, Theodore is up one night, he can't sleep. Basically, it's kind of like phone sex line, but it's more like the way cyber sex works. And not that I know how cyber sex works. The girl he gets paired up with gets really into it, he gets really into it. Then she throws in, "There's a dead cat, strangle me with it." What? It's dwelled upon for quite a long time. It's just a close-up of his face on the phone. It's really uncomfortable, but it's really funny. The cinematography is really nice to begin with. It's tricky to criticise this because a thing I did have a slight problem with is something I know why they did it, which was a lot of close-ups. He has this mustache in the film. There was one hair that was growing like higher than the others, and I couldn't stop looking at it. So the close-ups, there are a lot of them, but I do understand why they did it. It was to show the intimacy between him and his AI, because the way he communicates with the AI is through an earpiece, so it's all completely in his head. So that's why there is so many close-ups and close-ups and close-ups. Like I say, there was a lot of them. One thing that stood out to me was the way technology was represented with humans. At the beginning, it seemed like social interaction between all humans had almost completely ceased. There's a really great scene. The focus is supposed to be on Joaquin Phoenix like walking past, but everyone around him was clearly just involved in their own little world. Like they were not aware of the surroundings. And it's this huge city, feats of architecture, and they're not focusing on that at all. The one that stood out to me was there was this one guy, must have had like an eyepiece or something, like you couldn't see what technological thing he had, but he obviously had one because he was walking along and doing this to the air like he was swiping something. It seemed like the next gen Google Glass. That alone absolutely fascinated me, but it seemed like that's where they were going with it. All humans have sort of got this social disorder because of technology, but it seemed like the AIs were a way of getting back out of that and getting them to talk to each other again. And I think that was the intention of the film. It can show sort of the downfalls of technology, but it can also show how technology can bring people together. But it seemed a little bit inconsistent because in quite a few scenes there were humans quite clearly shown socialising, having a drink together, having a good time, and that it just seemed a little bit weird to me. Maybe I just misunderstood what they were trying to say, but it seemed like that's what they were trying to say, was that all humans were now completely dependent on technology, and it was going to be their journey out of it. But that's not where it went. Maybe that was just me, I'm not sure. There was only one scene that disappointed me, was the end. I just felt like it went on a little bit too long. I'm not gonna lie, I was quite relieved when the opening credits started to roll. It might have been because I was tired. It was about 2:45 in the morning at that point. I think they did drag out the AIs leaving quite a bit. I wouldn't really call it a downfall though. Honestly, it felt like it was trying to convince you that this world was real, and it really did feel real. I could see that's where we could be headed. I could see us forming attachments, romantic or otherwise, to our AI pals. I'm fairly fucking attached to my computer, I'll be honest. I'm rarely off it. I wouldn't have sex with it though. Maybe I would. I really enjoyed her. I had extremely high expectations, and like I say, I don't think I was in the right mood to see it, but I really liked all the ideas. It was a really well thought out exploration of humanity and love and artificial intelligence, set in a futuristic but still recognisable world. Acting amazing, characters amazing, story amazing, if a little bit laggy in places. Even though it's essentially stuff I've seen before, it still felt fresh because of the thoughtfulness that went into it. I think that's all I have to say about it, so I will see you in the next one, whatever that may be. Bye!